It is patch notes time yet again, and we have some big balance changes like the thumbnail is hinting at, and some other notable battleships that we have been wanting to get buffed, but also lots of new ships coming to the game, and we're going to start there with our campaign ship. It is this, a tier 8 destroyer, the Lüshun, and what can we expect about this ship? Well, from the PC version of the game, and again, take this all with a grain of salt because things don't exactly translate perfectly. But anyways, on PC, this ship is a very fast-firing gunboat. It has 4 guns, 127 millimeters, and they reload in 1.7 seconds. So very, very fast. 10 torpedoes. They're going to be Deepwater Torpedoes. They'll be very stealthy, but of course that means they won't be able to hit DDs. You have a decent HP pool. But what I'm seeing about this ship is that she is going to be pretty slow and unmaneuverable with bad AA. The other thing on PC that this ship gets that is pretty interesting, I thought, it's called a heavy repair team. So it's a repair party that gives you back a lot of health, say like, I don't know, 8,000 or 9,000 health, but it takes 60 seconds to get all of your health. So very interesting, and it has a slow cooldown period, and also hydro. I don't know if we'll get this. We don't have any ships in our game that have heavy repair teams at this time, but overall, on paper, Lüshun looks pretty interesting. 20,000 health. HE Shell Alpha is pretty low, but of course that reload is very fast. 197,000 is going to put it actually in front of the Hayate. So you guys know how powerful of a gunboat the Hayate is. It's going to be at Småland levels, but hopefully a little more accurate. My recent video on Småland kind of talked about how, yes, this boat has great HE DPM, but a little inaccurate. So yeah, that's what to expect. Slow, no speed boost consumable, so that will be a problem, and I'm not sure what the concealment is going to be, but it is basically a Soviet-Chinese collaboration ship, so the concealment will be bad. Also, the AA DPS is not 1200. Anyways, we'll double check that. So the next ship on our list, after we get through the campaign here, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Okay, there's a new event coming. Basically, you can earn denari, then exchange them for the Italian Tier 8 battleship Centurion. From my looking around, I have no idea what this is. Wargaming did not give us any information, but it looks an awful lot like a copy-paste Marco Polo. It might be a Marco Polo with some stat differences, you know? I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, that is the main thing that you can get. And just a bunch of other goodies, it sounds like. And a tier 6 cruiser called the Francesco Ferruccio. I'm probably butchering that terribly. On PC, this ship is an Italian tier 7 cruiser over there, but it'll be tier 6 on our game. It has 8 guns and a 4x4 layout, kind of like the Gascon. The fire rate is slow, as you might expect with SAP guns, but obviously, you know, they deal a lot of damage and they pin good super high shell velocity. Holy cow, that is blazing fast. Okay. The ship also notably, I thought this is a pretty decent torpedo armament for Italian boats. Most of them are 2x3, even all the way up to the Napoli and the Venezia, which we will talk about a little bit later. Slow sea mines, blah, blah, blah. The ship is very maneuverable. She's very fast, very good turn circle, very good rudder shift, very good concealment. So this could be an interesting one for a tier 6 ship. The Abruzzi and the Duca d'Aosta, which are both mid-tier Italian premium cruisers in our game, are both very good. So we'll see what this ship has to offer, but I mean, it could be definitely worth looking into. There will be some more information about how all these missions work further on, but yeah, some cool goodies, I suppose. These camos, they're a little weird. I mean, is this like the feather helmet piece for a Roman legion? Kind of odd. But anyways, yeah, we'll see about that. So the Japanese cruiser tech line, they are coming out of early access. These 4 ships have been crate ships that you can get. Now they're all coming fully to the game. And the tier 8 cruiser Takahashi.
Today, Junior!
So let's jump over to WoW's PC and take a look at Takahashi. If this ship is anything like the Shimanto, awesome. Okay, the Shimanto is great. If you didn't catch my video on that thing, super fun. And I'm looking at the ship and I think it's going to be very similar. And what makes the Shimanto so fun to me are that these guns, they are dual purpose AA guns, and it means that they go all the way around. 360 degrees. So when you're kiting, it makes this an excellent, excellent ship. You can keep your guns on target all the time. The 180 time is 6 seconds. Beautiful. The HE alpha is a little bit lower. It's not Suzuya levels because these are 150s, not 155s. But to make up for that, you get 1/5 pin, which means your HE shells smash through 30 millimeters of armor. And that is so fun. That is a great balancing factor because you see the reload is kind of long at 15 seconds. But every one of your salvos is going to pin more and deal more damage. It is super fun with unsuspecting cruisers. Heavy cruisers like to pick on light cruisers. Well, the first time a Salem picks on you and you can pin them everywhere with all 15 guns, they'll understand the gravity of the situation. It is really cool. The torpedoes on these boats are also fun. They have some aggressive firing angles for the front torpedoes. I don't know, they're kind of like the British battlecruiser wire-guided weird wiggle torps. So the launchers on the front part here are kind of like a Togo where they have some aggressive angles, and then launchers on the back. And with this boat, you actually get 16 of them. So that is a hefty torpedo armament. I'm looking forward to this one. AA is good, maneuverability is not that great, they're kind of slow, and that turning circle is clunky. That's 100 meters worse than a Buki at the tiers, so watch out for that. Decent conceal. It'll probably come with DFAA heels, which is good. These have beefy HP pulls, but the armor is of course bad. 25 millimeters everywhere. But as a tier 8 light cruiser, I think this one could be fun. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Moving on, Golden Week 24, and there's always some cool stuff in this collab, including cool skins. Complete a series of missions during Golden Week to receive rewards, and the final prize, a Golden Week 24 crate, which can drop one of these ships. Now, Iwaki, if you don't know, that is the best tier 3 cruiser in the game. It's really good. It's like a destroyer. It has smoke, it has DD guns, it has good torps. Best of all, you can put Azerlina Tago on it. It is a really fun and cool ship. Hyuga, this is largely considered one of the best battleships at tier 5. Asashio, don't get your hopes up. I would much rather play the Akatsuki, the tech tree Japanese IJN Torp boat at the tier. Asashio is not that good in my opinion. And then Maya, I have mixed feelings about. Very slow reload, but reload booster and more aggressive Torp layout. Kind of fun. Either way, you know, if you get a ship in a crate, that's awesome. New skin for Maya and new commander guy. So I'm curious if this will be like the black and gold Golden Week camo like we already have on Hyuga, Yamato, Asashio. Yeah. So anyways, there you go. That's that. More brawling, more ranked. That's cool. The Venezia. Okay, so this will be the new Bureau project, the Italian legendary cruiser. It is a big, heavy cruiser. These are 203s, and you have 15 of them, which is pretty crazy. So let's go jump on PC and take a look at that. It's a lot of guns for sure. One thing to realize about it though is the reload is pretty long. 21 seconds, just like most things with SAP, it has a longer reload, but you make up for it in just sheer damage potential. The armor, it's okay, 25 mil here, but at least you have an icebreaker. And then of course the bread and butter of Italian cruisers, learn to angle. You have 30 millimeters on the upper belt, 30 on the deck, so you can protect yourself from 406s if you are angling well. This one, I thought the Citadel layout was pretty brutal. Like, you gotta be careful. This looks like a Soviet cruiser, man. If you give broadside in the Venezia, I would say you're probably toast. So be careful of that. Pretty small and weak torpedo armament. I would say where the Napoli's more of a brawler with her SAP secondaries, this ship is probably gonna be more of a standoff gun platform. That's just my thoughts. On PC, notably, she does have 7.3 kilometer secondaries. I don't know what we'll get on our version of the game. There is just no way to know. Decent maneuverability. 760 turn circle is pretty good for a big, long boat like this. I mean, that's not bad. Let's go check out our nerd charts and see. Yeah, like mentioned, I mean, 760 is not that bad. Some of these, some of these boats have pretty bad turning circles up here. Anyways, worth pointing out, a lot of people like to cry about the SAP gun reload, so I wanted to point this out here. 21 seconds on PC, but SAP shells have an Alpha Strike 5200. I mean, compare that to HE shells. Some people say they would rather just spam HE, and sure, you get the fire chances on that, but this deals more damage than a massive 305mm Yoshino HE shell. and it shows in the SAP DPM. SAP DPM, 222,000. I mean, that puts it right under the Des Moines HE DPM. Yeah, you don't get the fires, but you get the pin angles and just the massive amounts of damage. SAP is really fun once you learn how to use it, and I think the Venezia is going to be a good boat. The cross-benefit program is back. Did it leave? I mean, did it go away? I don't understand why we're advertising this again. Basically what it was if you're playing on World of Warships PC, then you get rewards for World of Warships Legends and vice versa, and you had to set it up that way. Apparently, since it gone away and came back, it has been simplified, so you don't have to choose which account you want to play on, blah, blah, blah. I tell you what, Wargaming, if you want to make it easy for players to play both of these titles, why don't you make our premium time from wowsl go to WoW's PC and vice versa? Do you think players really want to pay for premium time on two separate games? Anyways, just my 2 cents. Maybe think about that. Balance changes. There are some good balance changes like we talked about. Grosser Kurfürst, Montana, Marco Polo, and we're actually going to jump over there because I don't feel like any of these bug fixes really mattered at all. So the Montana. They are saying Montana is the lowest performing legendary tier battleship. I could see that absolutely, especially when Ohio and Vermont both come to the game in this super cracked state, you know, with PC HP values and all of this firepower. So Montana is getting some love. Shell grouping is going up to 1.9. That should make her one of the more accurate ships at the tier now. 1.9 Sigma is really only beaten by the Vermont's 1.95. That ship is really accurate, really scary, really dangerous. And they are also going to increase the ship HP about 10k. And this is great. This is Montana's PC HP value. I don't know if you guys remember my GK video that I did back in December. I was talking about this, how when Ohio came to the game, it got its PC HP. But all of our other legendary tier battleships have had nerfed HP values. So Montana is going to get her PC value of 96,300 and the GK is going to get hers of 105,800. So that's good. I mean, that's kind of what we were kind of calling for. So that's perfect. I think that's the perfect buff to both of them. And then of course, the HP is being moved out of the extremities so that the ship saturates easier and can stay alive longer, including GK's massive superstructure. They are taking 100 whole HP points out of the superstructure. These changes should make the ships a lot more tanky, and hopefully that makes Montana not feel quite so bad compared to Ohio and Vermont. And then the GK, that's awesome. I mean, I hope it helps the ship out. The ship already has good DPM, sonar, decent secondaries, so maybe this will give it the survivability that GK truly deserves. The Dallas and the Helena, oh man. Well, I ground those ships so many years ago that I guess I didn't realize Dallas was that good, or Helena, but both of them are being nerfed, so hopefully you have already made your way through those lines. And Marco Polo is getting the main battery reload time for the SAP guns brought down. This was my biggest complaint about this ship when it first came out. 36-second reload with SAP with Italian dispersion. So yeah, I didn't play this ship ever again, but it might be worth playing now, I suppose. Resistance. Apparently, she is getting her bow and stern plating increased. Seems like all the Brit battle cruisers are just getting buffed across the board. I don't know if it has anything with how difficult they are to play for our player base. I don't know, but interesting. Okay. This ship, I was on vacation, I think, when it came out, so I never actually played it or did a review on it, but maybe we should look at it now. I don't know. Königsberg, buffed, which is surprising. Back when I played Tier 4, the Königsberg and the Emile Bertin were largely considered like the best cruisers, man. When we played Arena and stuff at Tier 4, I would pick the Königsberg. But anyways, it got buffed. That's cool. Not very much, I suppose, but, you know, a little bit. And then some armor updates that don't really matter. Master Mechanic. This is basically the skill that every battleship captain uses on brawling commanders and on hybrid commanders. It is the best performing common skill, of course, so they're trying to reduce its impact. They removed the skill's faster consumable cooldown time. All I can say is, it could have been worse. You know, when they come to balance these things out that people are using a lot, they could have made it a lot worse. Normally, Master Mechanic, you get 5 heals if you have a 16-1 commander, and they could have reduced one of the heals or something. So anyways, I'm glad to see that this is all they did to it. And then they tried to buff properly meticulous They've tried to make it a little bit more enticing by increasing secondary survivability and improving the dispersion. But again, I don't know that anyone is going to give up the heals of Master Mechanic. It's just too valuable, so I think even after this, properly meticulous just isn't going to be used, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And 4 more maps are receiving spawn updates. North, Islands of Ice, Crash Zone, and Land of Fire. It sounds like they are scooting them back a little bit so you reduce the time before you get spotted, and I could definitely see that like on North. If you're in a battleship, sometimes you're hard-pressed to turn out and reposition before getting slapped. So those could be some good balance changes. I am, of course, curious what you guys think of the update, the buffs, the changes, the new ships. Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. This is Derka signing off. Catch you in the next one. See ya.